Okay, I'll see if this works. It hasn't stopped yet. Okay, uh, just going through that again. So this login is a form. This login is a form. That's the form page. It calls process login, and that's the process login page. Okay. Um, the process login connects to the database. It takes whatever is posted. You see this method post. So whatever is posted. So when you have a field called employee, by default what is posted is $_post employee. So that's the variable $_post employee. So whatever is posted, we are trapping it into a variable. The password, we trap it into a variable. The password, we hash it and save it again in password. So we can match it against the hashed password which is in the database. So just bear in mind, you always have to make a connection and there will always be a query. What's the query? We are saying select from user. The user table has got the authorized users of this form. Select from user where username, and username is a field. If I go here and show you, username is a field, password is a field. Okay, so select where username is $employee. Yeah.
When you're making the password,
Yeah.
how do you make it so, you know how some websites have it so you have to have a capital and number and stuff?
Oh yes.
How do you make
Yes.
it so they have to do that?
Yes. You can choose a regular expression during registration. I haven't shown you the registration process of filling out the creating a registration process, but these days it is fairly easy. You can use a in HTML5 you can use a regular expression patterns. Okay, so you can say this is the pattern that I want, and the pattern specifies a regular expression that the input element's value is checked against. Now how do you create this regular expression? Okay, I'll look it up, we will find something regular, and I'll show you how it works. Regular expression pattern for password, for strong password. See this, you see this pattern here? Now that pattern here, password will contain at least one uppercase, at least one lowercase, at least one special character, and it will contain at least 8 characters in length. Okay, so and I'll tell you how I even test it. That is called regexpal. Regexpal, it's a friend, regular expression friend. You can say this is the regular expression I want to test. So let me test. Is that a good one? No. Is that a good one? No. One capital, one number. Yep. But you can see this pattern, it validates with lowercase, uppercase, and number. It does not force a special character, as it says. See, it's gone yellow. Yellow means it's valid. There are quite a few things that allow you to test patterns, especially when you deal with forms and you want to make sure that people are inputting what you want, like a number or a date. There is another one called net shift media, JavaScript regular expression. Those regular expressions are JavaScripts. They can be used inside a form anywhere, and I'll show you how. These days it's very easy to use it with HTML5. So let me just show you a library test. So you see this form, if you give it this regular expression, okay, it will only accept number slash 4 numbers. Anything more it won't accept. Okay, And once you get your pattern, how do you use it in your form? Let me show you. Suppose you have a pattern. I'll go to my login form. I'll go to this login form, input type, and I think it is called pattern equals this. Okay. So I've just put a pattern there, and let me go and see my form. Let me go and see my form. So if I go here, go back to login. Please match the requested format. Okay. Now I have to tell the user somewhere. If I am requesting a format, I must tell the user somewhere under where it says username. I have to say date format exam date format, and I can put an example. You know how you have a placeholder?
Yeah.
So you can put a placeholder. So you can put a placeholder equals 12/12/1212. See, so that sort of says date format, and now it will not accept anything. See that? It will only accept something like two numbers, 4 numbers, because come on. Oh, because 34, there is no 34 in a date. Date has to go. Okay. Okay. And why? Oh, this dollar. I don't need the dollar. I don't need this. So it took the input, but of course it didn't validate. But this pattern, and it is called a regular expression. Whenever you do a registration page and you want to force people to use a particular value, you can set a pattern and say, this is what, especially in a database. Now, in a database, you have actually said, suppose, those field types that you have in the database. So when you go here, and these field types you have set, varchar, sometimes you might have set that date, sometimes you might set decimal. So it's important that the user gives you a decimal, because otherwise you won't be able to put it in the data. The database will reject it. So those regular expressions are important. Very good question. Okay, but I'm going to just undo that and yes.
Is there a way to like audit incorrect attempts? Sort of thing?
Is there a way? I'm sure there's a way. I won't say no. There's certainly a way, because
So as the admin, so you can see.
you can write the JavaScript to actually see how many times submit button is pressed. You can set up a variable counter, and on click the counter goes 1, and if count greater than 3, log out. So yes, it can be done with some very simple server-side scripting. So the server actually says, okay, I've been called once, I've been called again. The third time, it just exits. Yes. And security is a very big thing these days. In fact, I would say that's where the biggest money is after big data. There are two areas of very big money: big data and security. And both of these have to do with the back end of the web. Okay, so I'll just fix my form back. I digressed, but it was worthwhile because okay. So there were two pages. One was the login page, then there was a process login page. Please understand, the process login page took the input, whatever was posted, put it in a variable, run a query, and then the query is put in a result, and you are counting the number of rows, MySQLi num rows of the result, And if it is 1, then you are setting a variable, a new variable. Look at this, $session message and $session login. You are saying put $employee into login, and your $session message is login successful, authorized to edit products. See how this works. Okay, have a look at how this works. Do I have an audience? I don't see anybody seeing the screen. Nobody seems to be interested. I'm happy to stop. I mean, I don't really have to go on with this if I don't have enough people interested in it. But just try to understand how this works, because this is very critical. You will not be able to understand the code if you don't understand that for this session message, you need a session start. Okay? When you have a session start, you can set a session variable like session message and session login. You know, when you log in on some pages, it says, hello Dilip, hello Sean. This is how it's done. You set a session variable. After you have processed the login page, you see this header, you are saying jump to edit.p.php. Jump to edit.p.php. And this is what edit.p.php is. Okay? And see what happens here. Welcome admin. Login successful. This is my message and this is my welcome message. Login successful, and I've set the login as an employee. In my edit.p.php, if I go to edit.p.php, the first thing I do is under the PHP code is I start a session. Look at that. What does that allow me to do? That allows me to say echo welcome $session login. In the previous page, I set $session login to $employee. And in this page, I'm saying welcome $session login. I don't know. Whoever is logged in, I'm saying welcome. Whatever variable was set there, I'm saying welcome. But this session will not work unless you do a session start. When session start is missing, these session variables are asleep. To come to life, you need to say session start. And see this echo $session message? Same thing. Whatever message you gave there, it will appear here. Now in this page, how do I generate all of this? How do I generate all of this? I make a connection. I run the query, select everything. I put the query in a result, and then in a while loop, I pull out all the data. Data after data, data after data. But there are two bits of trickery here: edit and delete. Add a new product is a separate thing that goes to a form. Okay. So let's look at these edit and delete, and then I'll show you add. When I echo out the delete or the edit, see this edit? This is my edit. My edit is sitting inside an A tag, ahref tag. See this ahref? And it links to editform.php, and it carries an ID. This is a get variable. Question mark ID equals row menu ID. Look at this. When I hovered my cursor over this guy, edit, can you see at the bottom of the browser? Can you see that at the very bottom, the line? Can you see at the very bottom the line? What's the last number? 1. When I go over here, what's the last number? 4. When I go over here, yeah. So when I go over these edits, it knows which ID to pick up. Because in the ahref I've said, when you go to edit form, take with you this one. So when I go to edit, it has gone to edit form, and it has filled up these fields with the data from, see this, ID 3. And you must have seen this in browsers so many times, question mark. This is what it is. It is getting data from the previous page. Now let me go to edit form. File, open. Edit form. Edit form again is a form, but this time inside the field, you know the value? Usually we keep it empty, right, in a form? But here what we are saying is connect to the database, get the ID, select star from menu where menu ID equal to $ID. We only want that one record, only that one record. See this? Where menu ID is equal to $ID. We want only one record. And then we put into the field $row pick, $row name, $row description. So you can see this PHP code inside the value field. I'm saying run the query, get the picture, put it here, get the description, put it here, get the value, put it here. And that's what is happening. It is putting these things from the database. I can change this to double awesome cheese, okay? And when I submit it, what will happen? When I submit it, see at the bottom I've got some more PHP code. If is set $post submit. If a user has posted a submit command, as a browser, if you hear a submit command, then take the picture which has been posted, take the name that has been posted, take the description that has been posted, take all the fields that have been posted, put them in a variable. After you put them in a variable, run this SQL command, update menu, okay, update menu is a table, update it, and set the picture to this new dollar picture, set the name to new dollar name, set description to new dollar description, set price to dollar price. So whatever was posted has been put into variables, and then an SQL command has been issued to update. SQL command has been issued to update, and then I run the query. So look at this. If I say double awesome cheeseburger and I hit submit, it's here, double awesome cheeseburger. I changed it. If I go and edit it to double awesome, if I change the double to loads of awesome cheese and change that with 3 slices of cheese, submit. So that becomes 3. Okay. So when I click here, it goes to a new form, but it takes this variable. Look at this. I can change it here. If I come here, up here, even if I don't go to the previous page, I come here and I make it 5. See this. I just made it 5. Bang. It's picked up the data from 5. And that's a get variable. Okay. If I make this 7, okay, it's picking up the data. Now you have seen get and post. Which one do you think is more secure to talk to a database? This is a get variable, and I can easily change it. You know, in Australia, when people go to check the superannuation account, it used to be like this. You used to have your superannuation membership number, okay? And when you hit enter, it used to pull out from the database whatever your superannuation details are, your name, your address, your money and everything. Which meant if you changed this to something else, you could get somebody else's data. Okay? So one PHP guy, one programmer, he tried it. He realized it's not secure. He called up the company and told them there's a bug in your system. If people change this, they can access other people's super. They picked him up and threw him in jail for accessing somebody else's record, but they did not fix the problem. It has been estimated that at least more than 50% of Australian government departments have insecure data. I know that even GoCard, the top-up, is insecure because one thing is anything that holds your records should not tell everybody what your password is. It should not send you an email. Hi Aiden, thanks for choosing this as your password. Should never happen. Also, when you go to update your details, it should not hold your entire credit card number as it is. And This is the most popular mistake. Next time you see a question mark, and even if you do try it, don't tell anyone. You'll be locked up in jail for that. But this is the most popular security flaw. And the reason being is initially when people started using databases, and you can see how powerful it is, loads of data, so much power. People did not think that there is a world full of people who are nosy enough who want to see other people's data. So security was not given enough thought. Now, if somebody sees my burgers, do I care? No. So I can use get here. But if I'm going to post data to a database, I don't want to use get. Okay. So there are two ways of talking between pages.
Um,
Yep.
it's good to not rely on the website to tell you the password and stuff like that.
Yes. Yes.
So what I do is I keep a document of the password just in case there's like a failsafe if I forget it on my computers.
Yeah, but that again is a security risk because if you lose the document or the document comes in somebody's hands, you know what I'm saying?
It's not online though. But
Yeah, that's okay. But yeah,
if I put it on that, that'd be stupid. But I put it
you know,
on
IBM used to force you to change passwords every week. IBM France, and I worked with this French guy, and he said it was almost a guarantee. You pull out somebody's drawer and the password is written because they had to change it so often they couldn't remember. So everybody started writing it down. So that's also a bad thing. Okay, coming back to my edit products, I'll just go back and come in. My logout is just a script that says destroy the session, but I'll show you the delete. So edit form, let's go and look at the delete. Delete. So I have got a delete link here. Look at this delete link. Now the delete link is also an ahref because it's a link. But I have used something called on-click return confirm. Are you sure? This return confirm are you sure is what gives me this pop-up box. Okay? On-click return confirm delete. And if I actually say yes, then it will call delete.php. And what does delete.php do? Let's have a look. Delete.php is a PHP file that says connect to the database, get the ID from the previous page, delete from menu where ID is equal to this ID, and return, set the message to product deleted, which means this message will become product deleted. So let me quickly add a product. So if I just delete this one and I say OK, the message becomes product deleted. Set the message and go back to edit P. Simple script. Finally, there's one last thing here on this page, and that's a button to add a product. On this page, I have a form, and you can see that's the form. The form is nothing but a button that says add new product. This button calls a PHP file called addp.php. Addp.php is nothing but a form, item name, description, and that's a good opportunity to fix the spelling. Description, price, special food type, and at the bottom I've got a PHP script that says if submit has been posted, if submit has been clicked, take the picture, take the name, take the description, store them in these variables, run a query that says insert into menu. Look at the command. We have had an update, we have had a delete, we have had an insert. All of it is SQL in the background. Okay, when you're reading SQL, when you're inserting SQL, when you're updating SQL, when you're deleting SQL. So you write your query and then you run your query and then you set your message product added. Okay, I'll stop the recording there. This is really all